I haven't been entertained by Saturday Night Live in 20 years. It's like that. I haven't seen I think the last thing that I would even consider that remotely funny, and it's because the bar has dropped to nothing, was like David S. Pumpkins, and even that was pretty fucking stupid.
That was pretty stupid.
It's like yeah, that was like 15 years ago, so it's not, SNL has not done it for me in a very long time, and I dropped out of it.
Totally fair.
Yeah, basically when what's her name left, I was kind of done with it. 30 Rock girl,
Tina Fey.
Yeah, she was like the thing that kept me there. And then when she was gone, I was like, all right, fuck all y'all got so long in the tooth that you grew a fucking fang. Have you heard? I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to tell you. Just going to show you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all, but I'm pinching myself.
And the latest for Timothée Chalomet to be grateful for is Willy Wonka. Check out these new pics of the actor on the set of Wonka in Oxford. Yeah, Timmy is rocking that iconic purple coat, Wonka's famous top hat, and of course, there's the cane.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, all of it.
All of it. That's like when you give a friend, you ask your friend to read a book you wrote and give notes back. So what's your favorite? Oh, all of it. Start to finish is wow. All of it.
He is my favorite. He's everyone's favorite big boy.
Love it.
Timothée Chalamet.
All of it.
French from New York. The Frenchest New Yorker.
Look
at this. Look at his Wikipedia page. Let me show you his Wikipedia page.
I'm a big fan of his. I'm a big his all of it. His whole Wikipedia page. I'm a fan of.
Are you a big fan? Because I was reading it, and I think we need to know. Here, listen to this fucking sentence. Are you ready for this?
I don't know. You tell me if I'm ready for it.
Timothée Hal Chalamet was born on December 27th, 1995 in New York City and grew up in the federally subsidized Artists Building, Manhattan Plaza in Hell's Kitchen. He grew up in a federally subsidized Artists Building.
Hey,
he was meant for the Wes Anderson movie. He was born in an artist's colony and just hatched out of his French egg in West Manhattan. Personally protected by the Flash.
Personally. Spider-Man, Hell's Kitchen, Daredevil, Spider-Man, they were all there.
Daredevil, that's what I meant. But yeah, Timothée Chalamet as Willy Wonka. Are you excited?
No, I'm not excited for any Wonka remakes. I loved
they just keep getting better and better.
I loved the first one, and ever since then, I'm not really sure.
Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka. That was 1971. So old.
What you got for me today? Yeah. What you got for me today?
Oh, well, I mean, we got. What do I have for you? We've got
what do you have for
Chalamet. Me? I think we need to go back.
Yeah.
We've got Wonka. We've got Wonka.
Oh, you're making
just when you thought, just when you were so thirsty, you saw the original Gene Wilder Wonka, and you're like, oh, it's so old. It's so old. 1971. I feel like an old person watching this. I want a new Wonka. And then they gave it to us. And then it was Johnny Depp. And it was like, finally, this problematic man has given me the Wonka I've always wanted.
I mean, this is Does Willy Wonka need an origin story? Probably not.
We need to know the roots because,
don't.
well, yes, we do because Gene Wilder
don't
didn't cover
snap
it.
at me.
Gene Wilder was just so old.
I mean, and I mean, honestly, like we're joking. This is only going to get worse. It's going to get to the point where everything is just modified remakes, prequels. We can't take the risk on new and original stories and ideas. We just have to go recycle, the same garbage. Like I can't wait for Disney to release an Uncle Ben Star Wars epic about how he was a farmer before Luke came under his protection. And Aunt Beru's bachelorette party, I got to see that. I mean, this is all stories that I need to have filled in.
I am so glad that you brought up Star Wars and Disney because, boy, I can't get enough of that Star Wars either. Like, they just, like, I was like, okay, like, they did, like, the original 3.
Sure.
And they were, like, all right. They were also so old. Old movies. They took those old movies from the 70s and they made them and they brought them and they were all right. But then
only one of them was from the 70s.
But it's so old. But then thank God in the 90s, in the 1990s, then George Lucas finally got to make the movies the way they were always supposed to be made, with like where Han Solo like steps on Jabba the Hutt's tail and he goes, "Whoa!"
It changed the whole movie for me. It changed all my appreciation.
Good.
So
it made it
weird.
Good. It was
yeah,
like, okay, this is a modern Star Wars. How am I supposed to believe that they could have spaceships and lasers in the 70s when they were still wearing bell-bottomed pants? Like they were like Flower. Hey, have you heard of that great new band Led Zeppelin? Oh, so old.
I feel like you and I have the same feelings about all this, but it is affecting you a lot more than it's affecting me, and you're gonna have a tough time moving forward if dragging things from the 70s and remaking them for the 90s or whatever we're in now, the 2020s. Things are just gonna get worse.
Oh, but they're making him better. I think it's going to get better because, look at all the great remakes they have done. Like they remade Robocop. Everyone's talking like this first Robocop. How stupid and old was that? Like, and then they're like, we need a new Robocop with Samuel L. Jackson, where he can be like, I don't even know. I didn't see it because who the fuck saw the remake of Robocop?
I saw the remake of Robocop.
What did you think? Let's hear your thoughts.
It was as stupid as the first Robocop.
But the first Robocop's amazing.
It's not amazing. It's
so good. It's Peter Weller, Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, I know.
You can't fuck with Paul Verhoeven. He's the master. Like, that's actually serious. I fucking love Paul Verhoeven, and you can't fuck with the original Robocop. It's like it's amazing.
It's okay. It's fine.
Let me tell you a story about my friends in the noughties. This is also such an old story from 20 years ago. I had these 2 friends. They worked in a video store. He said the highlight of his career was like a kid came in on his 18th birthday. And he was like, I just turned 18 and I want an R-rated movie. And here's what I want. I want action. I want violence, I want blood, and I want titties. And he's like, what can you do for me? And my friend was like, my good friend.
There's one movie.
You need Robocop. And he's absolutely correct about that. Robocop's got it all.
Okay.
Did you know you can call 1-800-ROBOCOP?
I did not know that.
And it takes you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. Ladies and gentlemen and friends beyond the binary, those of you watching our show, like, I recommend giving a call to 1-800-ROBOCOP and just see what happens. And while you're at it, what I would do is I would ask the people that answer if they're aware that their number is 1-800-ROBOCOP because they might not be aware of the implications of their
Don't tell
their
people to call someone. Oh my God. What are you doing?
Their responsibility of owning the phone number 1-800-ROBOCOP.
Did you know, being the big RoboCop fan you are, that RoboCop appeared in a World Championship Wrestling pay-per-view event?
I did not. That's like real life Smash Brothers.
He came down real slow to rip a cage door off a cage to help Sting escape. And it was
Sting the musician?
Sting the wrestler.
Sting from the police?
I mean, RoboCop was there, so maybe he was associated with the police, but not that police, no.
This is the most amazing ever.
I mean, just to continue, like, the bad ideas in professional wrestling for movies, there was also a wrestler who had a feud with Chucky, the doll from Child's Play. And while he was in the ring talking, Chucky came on the screen and taunted him. But it was a pre-recorded Chucky video, so like you could see he was having trouble getting his timing down with the video.
Oh, I'd say he like had too much Mountain Dew Code Red before the shoot.
Man, you gotta put down that Mountain Dew Code Red. That's as real as the streets, and you are not as real as the streets, my friend. You're talking to a Chucky video.
I vaguely remember some of that. Like I think I was a little kid, and like peak wrestling for me was like Hulk Hogan and like Andre the Giant and like the Iron Sheik and all that. And like, I don't remember, like there was like Dino Bravo and like, there was like, who was the guy that was like, woo, woo, the 2x4? Like
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yeah.
Those are the wrestlers that I remember. And then I was a little kid, and then I was in grade school, and then like forget it. Then I forgot about it. Like by the time like the 90s rolled around, I was dropping acid and smoking pot, and so like I wasn't fucking wrestling.
I only know about these things from watching videos about like shitty wrestling and seeing back then. I was same time frame you were, and then in the early 2000s, my nephews were into it, so I got a little back into it then, but that was about it.
I don't know. Like I don't know that you're gonna top Chucky and RoboCop.
I mean, it was really bad.
Rescuing Sting from a cage match.
Yeah, I mean, hey, comment.
That's pretty fucking incredible.
Comment on the video.
McCartney showed up with his like acoustic with this ukulele.
Yeah, his acoustalele. Yeah. You know, hey, let us know your favorite professional wrestling. I feel like professional wrestling. I think professional wrestling is probably more popular among trans women than we think. Maybe not now if they're transitioning. Maybe now that they're transitioning, probably not. But I bet when they were kids, pre-transition,
possibly.
It's a great cover. It's a great cover. You know, like if you just want to dude it up with dudes, professional wrestling.
But yeah, you want to dude it up with some dudes, you can be pro wrestling. Comment your favorite pro wrestler in the comment section.
Are you pro Chucky? You pro RoboCop? Let us know. Let us know
your feelings on RoboCop. How do you feel about RoboCop? And let us know if your experience from
I think that's important.
RoboCop.
Here being trans with Lilith and Amanda. I'm Lilith, that's Amanda. Then we're being trans. I think like I take surveys all the time that are from like the National Trans Healthcare Institute, and it's just like these personal questions. I think we need to like dig deep into real trans questions. Like, what's your thought about the original RoboCop? How did that help?
Of RoboCop.
How did that help your transition or hinder your transition?
Yeah.
And
Total Recall. Like, what about the Total Recall remake? What's your stance on that?
The Total Recall remake is not good. Total Recall. The first Total Recall is an amazing movie. It's amazing. It's
one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
I can't get over that movie.
I'm going to tell you a thing.
Also, Paul Verhoeven.
Later, off camera, we're going to have a discussion because I have Total Recall stories that does not fit for this episode. We're going to have to save it.
You can just edit it out.
I'll just tell you later. I'm put a pin in this. Putting a pin in this.
All right, are you done now with Timothée Chalamet, or do you still want to complain about Willy Wonka?
Complain? No. God, why would I complain about the best thing that's ever happened to cinema?
I mean,
Timothée Chalamet as Willy Wonka. Yes, please sign me up. Like, couldn't get enough of him as like the little fancy lad from Dune. And then, like, when I don't know what else he was in, I feel like I don't know much about Timothée Chalamet other than he was born in an artist's egg, like a little artist's tube, like in Manhattan. Like, and they grew him into Timothée Chalamet. Like, hey, you're gonna be a star someday. Put an accent on your name.
that's all they're doing
You're
is
from New York, yeah.
all they're doing is growing Timothée Chalamet's in there,
They're
and some of them make it.
Chalamet's.
This Timothée Chalamet made it. There were like 50 Timothée Chalamet's working in restaurants in New York, waiting for their big break right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like oh, and there but there's the problem is like there was the Timothée Chalamet that like worked in like the pizza place in the Bronx, and he was like, oh, I just spelled it like Timothy. I didn't think of like the two E's with the accent, and that's what the problem is.
There's the guy who
It's like,
pronounces
that was it.
He just goes by Tim Chalamet, and it's
Tim
just like,
Chalamet.
come on, Tim Chalamet, come on, try.
Like, you'll never be the next Michael Cera.
I'm Tim Chalamet.
We all got so tired of Michael Cera. He grew up into like a less of a boy. Now we need a new boy. We need a new forever boy. That's you, Timothée Chalamet. You've got it what it takes. First we had Leonardo DiCaprio. Then we had Michael Cera. Now it's Timothée Chalamet. Who will be the next forever boy?
I don't think that's a bloodline. I don't think there's a direct line from Leo DiCaprio to Michael Cera to Timothée Chalamet.
But they were all the forever boys. But like that's the thing is like Leonardo DiCaprio, even though he looked like a boy up until his 40s, was like he was doing serious roles like right away because he was like, I gotta get out of this forever boy business. And now he's like one of the most celebrated actors. Like he's like, I think he's like maybe has like the record for Oscars. I don't know. He might be the highest paid guy.
I don't think he has any Oscars.
He has some sort of
He
accolade
has one
where
Oscar.
he's like, is that it?
Yeah.
One Oscar?
Yeah.
How many Tonys does he have?
He has no Tonys. Tonys is for singing.
What about any Johnnies? How many Johnnies does he have?
He's got 3 Johnnies.
I get one Oscar, I got 2 Tonys, I got a Johnny.
But yeah, I don't think that's a straight line from Leo to Michael Cera to Timothée Chalamet.
Hey, you don't? I don't know. Who else in that timeline fits the mantle of forever boy? Like the Peter Pan, if you will, who just won't grow up, skin-wise. Facially.
Okay, I think I was thinking about this more like talent and creative wise, but you're just talking about.
Oh no, I'm talking about
perpetually
like
17 and a half years old.
Never got old. It was like it started with Dick Clark. Then probably there were some guys later.
Probably.
Dick Clark just was so good at it for so long that it wasn't until we had Leonardo DiCaprio ate Gilbert Grape, and then they were, well, this is the next Dick Clark.
Wait.
He's gonna live forever.
Is the answer to what's eating Gilbert Grape Leonardo DiCaprio? He was eating Gilbert Grape. I thought he was Gilbert
Grape. Leonardo DiCaprio. That's like QA.
Mind-blowing stuff right there.
Just eating them right up. Just can't get enough of that Gilbert Grape. Anything
else Chalamet related you'd like to get out into the ether?
I don't have anything Chalamet related. I'm just so excited. There's plenty of Wonka related things, because think about it. Think about how good this one's going to be. Because here's what I didn't tell you. Here's what you didn't know yet. You know who else is in this fantastic new edition?
Don't ruin it for me. Give me a chance to guess.
I'd love to give you a chance. I don't think you're going to guess, but
Willem Dafoe.
Wouldn't that be great? I'm afraid not.
If you want to get me behind a Willy Wonka remake, a straight remake of the 71 version, but with Willem Dafoe as Willy Wonka, I'd watch that.
Like an old Wonka. I would watch that too. I would be really into that.
I also, when we're talking about remakes, I think every Patrick Swayze movie should get remade, but with Kurt Russell in the lead instead of Patrick Swayze. I think Roadhouse would be fabulous. But
I think
Kurt
that's
Russell.
a strange choice.
No, Kurt Russell, long-haired Kurt Russell, put cash on him. Yeah.
But I mean, Kurt Russell and Patrick Swayze were kind of like the same age. So like remaking anything like Roadhouse is like a young man's game. like you
What are you
can't
talking
put
about?
like old ass Kurt Russell into Ghost. Like it's not gonna work.
What are you talking about? What's his name? Not Sam Shepard. Who's the old cowboy guy who was in Roadhouse?
Sam Neill?
No.
It is Sam
Elliott. Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott's great. We all love Sam Elliott.
I mean, we all love Sam Elliott.
Why are we talking about Sam Elliott again?
Because we're talking about stupid remaking stuff. I'd watch Willy Wonka if you remade it with Sam Elliott as Willy Wonka.
Let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Would you watch it if Mr. Bean himself, Rowan Atkinson, was in it? Because he is. Surprise! That's who else is in this wonderful new version of Wonka. They got the Bean. They got Mr. Bean, Johnny English, and his wonderful takes on conservative and cancel culture.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Thank God. Finally, someone speaking out against cancel culture.
That's the thing is like, thank God for Rowan Atkinson to come in and like, and tell us all what he thinks, just how much he doesn't like cancel culture. Cause like a guy like him, like who he was Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
And he was Johnny English. And I don't know if you knew about the Netflix series that he did, Man versus Bee.
No, never heard of it.
He did a whole series. I think it was like, I don't know that it was relatively recent, I think. Mm-hmm. But like they did like a Man versus Bee. It was him versus a bee. Like I don't think I need to talk about it anymore. I think we can all kind of guess where that goes. Yeah, Rowan Atkinson versus a bee, Man versus Bee. Like looking
why are we giving free advertisement to Netflix? And
because I'm just so excited about this new iteration of Willy Wonka. Starring Timothée Chalamet and Rowan Atkinson. Like I can't believe it's real. It's like pinch me. Like, American culture just keeps getting better and better.
Just keep dredging it up. Who else?
Here's the thing.
What? Who else needs an origin story from the 70s?
I don't. Who else?
Oh,
I don't
what
know.
if Timothée Chalamet was the Jack Nicholson character from Chinatown, but as a kid, and this is how he became a detective? That's
great.
Oh yeah.
Or as an old man, because he can play an old,
got that range. He's got that range.
Chalamet, he does, because he's so versatile.
And it's Chinatown 2, and it's him as an old man with another case that ends up in Chinatown. I love it.
He's an old man. I played Willy Wonka from an old movie, and now I'm playing an old man from Chinatown.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I think that's where we need to head.
Chinatown, and then he's gonna say that. He's say it's Chinatown, and then everyone's gonna clap. The whole movie.
Another prequel. You loved Apocalypse Now. What about Apocalypse Then? It's the prequel to Apocalypse
Then.
Right, and it looks back further. Timothée Chalamet is Colonel Kurtz, and a young Colonel Kurtz just got to Vietnam. Apocalypse Then.
With bright bushy eyes, excited to
be spreading democracy.
Helping the Vietnamese defeat communism.
Yes, Apocalypse Then.
I love it. Just stars in his eyes, and he's not at all jaded.
He's like, no, I'm here, President Nixon. I'm here to save America from communism and help the people of Vietnam fight back this great evil. Apocalypse Then.
They're playing. He does shoot innocent people from a helicopter, and it is playing all along the Watchtower, but it's the Bob Dylan version.
Yeah. Yes.
Just before.
I love it.
That's how you know it's earlier.
Yeah.
Like, when you're shooting innocent people from a helicopter, like if All Along the Watchtower is playing, it makes you aim better.
Yeah, of course. It's called inspiration.
The secret to shooting people from a helicopter.
Any other prequels or sequels or future remakes?
I think I'm ready for a question. Should we talk about who we are, what our show is?
I mean, I'm Lilith. I'm a life coach and person going through a transition in 2023. So that means everything you think it means. And I love helping people. I love talking to people. And and I love thinking of sequels and prequels and postquels for movies from the 70s and 80s that can star Timothée Chalamet.
I well said.
Yeah.
I am Amanda Bonanza. I am just a person. I don't have any qualifications of any kind whatsoever. I'm just here to be here, but I definitely love Timothée Chalamet, and I definitely love Willy Wonka, and I love Rowan Atkinson, and I love putting the three of them together in probably the best movie ever made.
Yeah. Yeah. What about like a Back to the Future sequel that's called like Forward to the Present and
Forward to the Past,
forward to the present, because it's about going back and bringing someone from the past forward to do something.
Oh, I've got one.
Yeah.
How about we do one where it's like we get Michael Anthony Hall or no, even better. Who is the bad dude in the Breakfast Club? Was like Judd Hirsch or Judd Nelson? Judd Hirsch, is he from Taxi? We get Judd Hirsch.
Judd Nelson. It's Judd Nelson. It's not Judd.
His fucking
Judd Hirsch is still alive. What are you talking about? Judd Hirsch is alive.
We get Judd Hirsch. We put him, and we make him an unruly Gen X teen.
No.
And he goes, it's Pleasantville, but it's Unpleasantville.
No. I got you beat. We get Judd Hirsch, Judd Nelson, and Naomi Judd for a remake of Judgment Day, but it's spelled with two D's. I do have another one. It's called Let's Go to Our First Question.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the name of our show?
The name of the show is Being Trans. I said that like 10 minutes ago as well.
Did we say that?
Oh my God. Yeah. I introduced the show several times. It's okay. It's okay.
Did we say it?
It's okay.
I feel I've just got so many stars in my eyes.
You have so much love and joy in your heart right now. It's making me so happy. Like, I love it.
Let me tell you, I moved to Southern California, and ever since I've been here, I've just been starstruck by the glamour.
Yeah.
The glamour of Hollywood is just, it's getting in my eyes and my ears. And all I can think of is now is like, well, what if I see a celebrity? What if
I get a chance to pitch an idea to Timothée Chalamet? I get it.
Well, you see that, you never know, because I go to Los Angeles, and what if I see a young looking old Timothée Chalamet, like frequenting one of the many fabulous businesses in West Hollywood. That could be.
And then you go up to him, you're like, you pitch Apocalypse Then to him, and he's all in. And now you and I have to write this screenplay for Apocalypse Then.
I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, I would love to pitch you Apocalypse Then, but like, really, how great was it hanging out with Rowan Atkinson? Like, that had to be just a highlight of your life.
You're your own worst enemy, Amanda.
I wouldn't be able to get past
Rowan Atkinson, the Blackadder. Come on.
Yeah. Do you also hate cancel culture, Timothée Chalamet?
I do love Blackadder. I think that's a great TV show, the way they did that.
I have never seen Blackadder, but I love conservative ideology. So I think that covers the whole spectrum.
All right, let's not talk about cancel culture anymore, because we all know it's made up bullshit, and it's just going to anger you because there's always going to be someone talking about it. You'll be like, how's this guy with 4 Netflix specials talking about cancel culture? When does it happen?
That's why I'm bringing it up, because from what I can see is the more you talk about cancel culture, the more successful you get. Exactly. It's like, I hate cancel culture. And then you get a Grammy, Oscar, Emmy, whatever another Charlie. Give me a Charlie.
Give me a Charlie. I got 7.
Give me a Charlie.
I got 7 Charlies.
Emmy Watson.
And Emma. All right. So this is like a quick one, but I think it's a great jumping off point for us just to complain about stuff. So,
okay.
Yeah, right? Drop some knowledge here. Hey, why are there so many creepy people in DMs recently? Title says it all. I just saw a post with a creepy person in their DMs, and I've been dealing with many similar people lately. What's with the uptick in weird accounts? I have a few thoughts on this, but I'll let you tear into it first, if you'd like.
I don't actually have many thoughts on this because I don't suffer from this problem because I don't I ignore shit that's like that. And so I don't really do that. So I don't want to go too much on a tangent.
Are you going to go on a tangent that's not related to this question?
But I mean, it is kind of related because
is it about Timothée Chalomet?
No, it has nothing to do with
then continue.
America's favorite big boy. What I was gonna say is every now and then on Facebook or wherever, I'll make a new friend. I'll come across someone whose profile I like, or they're in a group and I like they say something witty, and so I was like, okay. So I'll click on I'll friend them, and I'll do a friend request just to hey, do the thing. But every now and then, whenever I do that, someone messages me back on Messenger, and then and starts DMing me, and every time I regret it. I hate it. I instantly hate it. I'm just why are you doing this? I don't want to have a DM conversation with a stranger. I don't want to get to know you over Messenger. That's not a thing I'm interested in, at all. I just wanted to have your stuff in my posts feed so I can laugh at your memes. That's it.
Your meme feed. And we get it.
Yeah. And I did this, and I found this there was this really pretty girl in one of the forums I'm in, and I was oh, you're really pretty and you seem cool, and so I click on you, and I clicked on her, and she started DMing me, and I was I tried to do it, and I tried to respond, and I was just I can't do this. I just went off and did something else, and then she got upset with me because I wasn't returning her DMs. But I was just because I never wanted to in the first place. You misunderstood. Yeah. And I felt kind of bad about that, but not really. Because it was I found out she was into Jesus, and it was just that was kind of enough for me. As soon as I found out she was into Jesus, I was okay, there's not much I can do with this. I can't really work with this. I don't know about you.
No, it's okay. I would say a few things. First of all, get friending people. So full disclosure, that's how Amanda and I met. We were in a bunch of groups together, and one person was where are y'all from? And we were both from Milwaukee. So I said, you're my friend now. But we didn't immediately reach. I didn't message you. We just kind of hung around then, and we just kind of saw a lot of the same. We were finding a lot of same sense of humor with memes and stuff. And then one day, I don't know why we decided to talk, and then we're just oh my gosh, we should do a podcast. So that's part of it. But when it comes to people who are just showing up in your DMs uninvited, one, if they're antagonistic, there's two reasons. One, they're cowards and randomly just trying to make someone trying to make you miserable anonymously is what those kind of people enjoy. I don't get this new thing where it's comedy or humor or enjoyment is gotten just from making other people miserable, but there's a huge portion of the country.
Not a new thing.
No, but it's bigger. I feel
Don Rickles had an entire career out of it.
Yeah, but Don Rickles would do it on stage in front of everyone, and everyone would laugh. It's not funny looking back at it now, but Don Rickles would
racists gathered together.
The racists, but Don Rickles wouldn't get you alone anonymously and just say things to make you feel bad about yourself.
Oh, so, you don't think so?
I don't think so. So I think that's it. Is the anonymous version of it, and you can see it even with the way prank videos now, where it's just I'm just going out to annoy people, and for some reason that's become comedy. I
don't know. If there was a show called Punk'd, and
that was the start of it. That was the start of it.
That wasn't the start of it. That was and that was 30 years ago.
See, now you're not going to let me talk. What I mean by that's the start of it. When I was a kid, you would pull a prank on a friend of yours. You wouldn't go to the mall and annoy an entire mall's worth of people because there's no reason to. There's no reason to. You wouldn't get video. You wouldn't get any cachet from it. The only people who would know it are the people in the mall. So unless all your friends were there to spread the legend, I mean, I guess not. You're telling me that the pranks you see. Of course
we did stuff like that.
The pranks you're saying the pranks you see now on TikTok were as prevalent in the 80s and early 90s. It was not as prevalent. I know you don't. I don't watch TikTok either, but you can't help but see these stupid videos. All right, you're just being counteractive. You're not letting me make my point.
I'm sorry. I don't think it's a part. New.
I think it is a bigger part of the culture now, where you have this whole thing of like right-wing conservative comedians whose whole thing is the joke isn't that there's a joke. The joke is that someone else was hurt by it or someone else was angered by it. And so if people are showing up in your DMs, part of it is like if they're being antagonistic, they think that's funny. And so that's part of it. And it's anonymous, which is even more because these people are cowards, which is why you see all this stuff online about how they're going to do shit. This is going to happen and that's going to happen. And they never do shit because they're cowards. So, block that. Now, creepy could also mean like people who are like, like sexually creepy. Happens on Instagram for me, especially if I like put something out that I tag for trans people. Immediately there's like chasers and stuff, and like a guy with like a brand new account's got like 4 pictures. He believes in God and family, and he's like wants to follow me or wants to start a conversation with me. I think especially with people just showing up in your DMs, like we live in a time where you just have to protect yourself. And people are trying to antagonize trans people, and that's really what it is. And it's an easy way for them to do it without putting themselves at risk.
I think there's the chaser element too.
There's also the chaser element too, but but that's kind of tied to that.
They're not mutually exclusive.
They're not mutually exclusive. That's for sure. But I mean. I think it goes in waves, and then you get the ultimate creepers. I get ones where like I'll log on to Instagram or Facebook and someone will have liked 50 photos of mine in like a minute and a half. And that's always like, nothing you can do about it. You can make your stuff private if you don't want people to see it, but you have to take the balance. And I'd say if someone is messaging you and they're not someone or they're being weird or creepy or vile, just block them and don't give them this. I would never give them the satisfaction of responding to someone who is hateful and like, I just block them and be done with it.
All of that. Couldn't agree more.
Although if someone is a chaser and they start that stuff, I'm like, hey, Venmo me $25 and I'll mail you a pair of warm panties. They're just like,
solution.
I'll get you a pair of worn panties for $25 if you Venmo me money. Because all these dudes are super into you and like want to do this for you. And like, I just like, here, Venmo me $25, get some skin in the game, son. And then they're just like, no, I don't think so. It's like, I don't know. I exercised in them. The
they got my legit sweat.
Yeah, legit sweat. You were going to say before
taint. That's real. That's authentic taint right there.
Authentic right there.
I'm going to inject the older person Gen X borderline boomer wisdom of reminding people that are younger than us and younger than me that you don't have to fucking respond to everything that comes in on your phone. Like your phone's a phone and you have full autonomy on whether or not what you want to see, what you want to hear, and like who you want to talk. And there's like the idea that you have to engage with anyone that like DMs you or that you even have to look at it.
Yeah.
Like is this idea that I think that I've seen in a lot of people, even my own age, that like feel like it's that same mentality where like it's like if your phone dings, you have to immediately respond to it. It's like, why didn't you text me back? It's been like 30 seconds. It's like you don't have to. The whole point of texting and DMing is so that you don't have to interrupt what you're doing and talk. And like, that's why phones are intrusive. That's why texting and DMs exist, is so you can deal with that when you feel like dealing with it instead of immediately and stopping what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but I know just a lot of people do that. And there is a pull to do that. Like when I'm out in the world and like my phone dings, my instinct is to quick check it, even but I've like fought that instinct over time, and I've like, okay, yeah, I'll check it when I get around to it, when I'm done driving, when I'm done with this thing that I'm doing. Like, and if I feel like responding, I'll respond if it's someone I care about. But if it's some fucking schlub that I don't know from the internet that's flipping me shit, there's a block button and you just block it. And then you're done with it forever. And like, you really do curate your own virtual experience. Like, so whether that's online, Facebook, Instagram, Grindr, whatever the fuck, you get to filter and decide who you interact with. And the more you engage with antagonists and people that are hurtful or have bad intentions, the more that the algorithm pumps that into you. So it's like, it's this snowball. Like if we talked about this a few weeks ago when the conservatives were all blowing up their Bud Light, and I commented on a few. It's just like, oh yeah, I guess we're all for cancel culture now. And then immediately all I got was rednecks about country music and Bud Light. And I'm still like, I'll go onto Facebook, and I know Facebook is like, it's on its way out. It's old Instagram, people. But I'll go through every time I go on. I'll scroll down and I'll block like 5 accounts like that. That's like that, and then 5 more come up to replace it. You know the depth of Sons of Confederates, proud of our heritage type groups. Like, it's bottomless. I'm sure there is just a Russian bot. The Russian bot that is it's a lot of bots.
Just creates these fucking things, and just the amount of people who are responding to them is frightening, and it's just like you have that control. It's just like in real life, you can walk away, and it's even easier now because they can't follow you, and you can just block them. And I totally understand. Like, we talked about this, it might have been last week or it might be coming up, talking about the 51%. When you're engaging with someone, if they're honest and open about wanting to understand trans people and you think you might be able to help them with trans people, then yes, you should have that conversation with them. But going online and arguing with someone who's just entrenched in lies about the trans community, who is just barfing up, the latest right-wing talking points, you don't have to expend your energy there. Protect your own energy, protect yourself, protect your light. That person, you don't have to convince that person about trans. That person is gone. You have to work with those people who are legitimately interested in learning and curious and helpful. And you can block anyone who isn't. You don't have to feel bad about that. It's not on us to argue with every person who watches Tucker Carlson and now is or Matt Walsh or any of these lunatics who just literally make shit up about trans people. You don't have, that's not what you do. What you want to do is talk to the people who are getting that filtered down to them, and or maybe like, I have trans friends. What's all this I'm hearing? And talking to them. But yeah, I think the like weirdos attacking you, weirdos hitting on you in your DMs is just a part of anonymous internet culture that's here to stay. And it's specifically a thing that's amplified for women, and then on top of that, amplified for trans women. It is kind of part and parcel, but bottom line is curate your shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Curate your shit. That's the advice.
Yeah.
Solved.
Yeah. Just know this too, that if you ignore them, you're bothering them now. That is annoying the fuck out of them that they didn't get a rise out of you.
Yeah. It's like, don't, it's the oldest thing your mom tells you when you're like, Mom, they're making fun of me at school. It's like, why do you care? And it's like, and you're like, you don't understand. It's like, yeah, you're right. It hurts in the moment, but your mom's fucking right. Why do you care? Like, why do you care what these asshole
and this isn't even at school
weirdos? These aren't even real people half the time.
You can't not go to school. You can just ignore these. Oh, that's the you're probably not even find out another person the other end.
Like, a good chunk of all the conservative everything really is just bots. Like, it's wild. Like, how many of that out there
if you ever wondered, everything shows 20 to 30% somewhere in there is like this extreme conservative ideology, this anti-trans ideology, but like 70-80% of the comments online are that ideology. That's just someone pumping out garbage using an algorithm, using a bot, whatever.
Yeah, because that's a real thing. And like, but like the best thing you can do is just get rid of it. I mean, like part of like having, I don't know if it's contradictory to the phrase itself, but like having like a healthy online experience, you have to spend a certain amount of time pulling weeds. If you want a good garden, you got to get rid of the weeds. You got to go in and you got to dig in the dirt. You got to get out the weeds. And so you got to spend a certain amount of time every week just going in and just, okay, that's no good. I don't want that. And like this extends beyond random weirdos DMing you. Like it's like easy enough to block, but like that can go for like old friends or family that like has gotten shitty. Like it's like one of the nice things about like the anonymity of the internet is like when you block somebody or if you unfriend somebody or if you like unfollow them, which is like even what you just do is like then they're just gone and they don't even know it. Like, and you just kind of disappear and it just filters everything away. And like, I've done it a number of times. Like I've gotten rid of family. I've gotten rid of people that were once friends and like, and then people that like, cause it's like, you might be friends with someone in real life, but if their online presence is shitty and annoying and not good, and even if it's just like, you just don't want to see pictures of their fucking kids all day long. It's just like, that's enough. Like anything you don't want to see, there's a button for it. There's a button that gets rid of it. This goes for ads too. Like one of the best things that I ever did was like when like ads will pop up and every now and then it'll give you the option. Do you like this ad? Yes or no. Do you want more of this? Yes or no. And so I just said yes to all the underwear all the underwear ads. And so like there was a period where my Facebook feed, every ad I got was just beautiful women in their underwear. And that was a delightful online experience.
Time to be alive.
That's curating a healthy garden.
So yeah, the reason why, it's the times we live in. People can be anonymous assholes, they can be anonymous creepers, but you block them. You don't have to engage with them. And I think that's the thing. Remember, I think we're taught like from as kids that we have to interact and be polite, and that you don't. Fuck that. You live the life you want. You don't have to talk to people you don't want to talk to. So there's a person helped. I feel much better already. I'm sure Timothée Chalamet is proud of us right now.
Well, Timothée Chalamet, he would be proud of us, but he's far too busy basking in the glow of Rowan Atkinson's excellence.
He's wonking it up.
Wonking it right up. He's the real wonkinator, isn't he?
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet, they're going to forget all about old Gene Wilder, and we get the new, young, forever young Timothée Chalamet. I want a new Wonka. I want a boy Wonka. Like they tried to do that with Johnny Depp, and they just made him creepy.
No.
Johnny Depp is kind of creepy.
If they redid, and we're just Timothée Chalamet is the new Gene Wilder, and they redo Young Frankenstein. Is Rowan Atkinson the new Igor then? Is he just going with him from movie to movie?
I think Rowan Atkinson, I don't remember Young Frankenstein enough to make a good joke. I was going to make some sort of joke where like he was the leftover skin on the floor.
No, that it was a comedy. Yeah, there's no leftover skin or viscera lying around. There had to have
been leftover skin from Frankenstein's monster.
They didn't show it. All right.
Well, why would you?
Yeah.
But that's what Rowan Atkinson deserves. He deserves to not be shown.
Okay. Because you're pro cancel culture. I get it now. Oh,
just
Rowan Atkinson was right.
You see what I did there? I broke through that fourth wall.
Yeah.
But that's acting, folks. That's acting.
That's really good.
I'm ready for Hollywood.
Quality. It's quality stuff right there.
Timothée Chalamet.
Call me. Next question. This is father of a transgender person with some questions. And this is what this person types.
Okay.
First off, my son, well, daughter now, I guess. I'm still adjusting and not familiar with terminology, and she was my son for 20 years, so I still slip up. So I'm going to stop right here.
Okay.
You are typing this out. You can, before you send, you don't have to, you can just delete son and put daughter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of shit. And I don't even know if I want to read the rest of this question. We can.
I do. And I want to go. I
want to have this conversation where, all right, your child's transition is not about you. And yeah, it's difficult for you, but and if you slipped up in person, you were telling me this and you slipped up and apologized, that's fine. But you sat here and you typed it out. And then instead of correcting it, you kept typing out why you said it wrong. So drop that bullshit. All right. Drop it.
Get rid of that right there.
Just get rid of that. That attitude.
Starting there.
Yeah.
But like, okay,
I will read the rest of it. I will read the rest of it.
But I also want to like come at this. Just I want to hit like a little reset here, a little mood reset.
Fine.
I want us to get our chi together because I want to take this moment because I do want to take the high road here, and I do want to go and here's why. Because like this is the thing that I've been kind of into, and you and I have both talked about this, and we both espoused this. Is like there are people out there on the fence, and this is a parent who's trying. They're trying. He's trying with his daughter, and he's trying to figure it out, and he's got some baggage, and he doesn't know how to do it. So let's tell him the right way to do it without yelling at him about it. I don't want to drive anyone over the other side of the fence because like, well, if you're just going to be a dick. If he keeps doing it, that's one thing. But like, okay, your point, 100% valid. Like, yeah, you wrote this down. You didn't have to say that. But the fact that you did say that sure tells us a whole lot about where you're at in this stage. So it is actually useful information. But let's hear the whole thing, and then we'll talk and help this man with his daughter. Help this man to understand his daughter.
I feel like I've been
her transition.
That's the kind of shit I would say, and now I feel like I let myself down. But when I first read this, when I see this all the time, someone misgenders someone and then types out why they did, and it's like, you're typing this. You don't hit send after each word. We're not reading this as you're typing it. You could just correct it. All right, because this sounds like, well, I'm doing this here and I do this all the time, but this is why I do it. And that's just not a valid reason to do it. If you're going to accept your daughter, then just accept it. And if you're not going to accept your daughter, then stop trying to tell us all these good reasons why you're not going to. Anyway, you're correct. There's no need to yell at it, but come on, guy. All right. First off, my son, blah, 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 is 20 and was born biologically male. If you didn't get that from the rest,
I didn't like. Can you go through that a few more times? Once again, let's ease up. Let's go through this whole thing, and let's come at this like we know this man's got a few. We're gonna help this man. Okay. We're gonna help this man. We're gonna get him from this not great place he's in. We're gonna hold his hand. We're gonna lead him through the weeds. We're gonna bring him out into the light. That's what we're gonna do with this fella.
You're real honest though. Like, as I'm usually the person saying, I'm usually the person sounding like you, and I believe that's right. But sometimes it does feel good to be on this side of it. First off, my son, well, daughter now, I guess. I'm still adjusting and not familiar with terminology. The terminology is son or daughter. I'm sorry. This is the last time. The terminology, it's son or daughter.
The terminology of son and daughter. These are new words. I'm just a caveman.
I've only had a son.
I'm just a caveman.
I've never had
your gender's frightening and confusing.
I've never had this hawk to her
What's this doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor.
I'm not familiar with this terminology.
I have a son and a doctor.
All right. I feel like I've got you back on my side with this. So let me. All right. I'm gonna read it. All right. First off, my son, well, daughter now, I guess. I'm still adjusting and not familiar with terminology, and she was my son for 20 years, so I still slip up. Is 20 and was born biologically male. She told me a few.
He is she.
Sure. Yeah, finally. She told me a few months ago that she's felt like a female for some time. She is also high-functioning autistic, has always struggled to make friends or socialize in general. I never saw anything to lead me to believe she struggled with her gender identity. Not sure if there would have been anything to see, honestly. She's student starting HRT, and I just worry that she's going to have more difficulty socializing than she's experienced so far. She's 6'4" and so rail thin and has an extremely deep voice. I only mention that because it's been something she's brought up that makes her self-conscious. I'm not sure what to gain posting this here, but I just want my child to be happy, whatever the case may be. She'll always have my support, but I worry I don't know how.
Okay.
I
so
cede time to you for now.
We unloaded on this guy. You're right in the sense that he could have started that out better, but like, you know what? Like he gendered her correctly the whole way after that. And like, you know, this is a man that gives a shit. And this is the exact kind of parent that we do want to help. And we do want to like, we want to like, hey, Mr. Dad with a high functioning autistic transgender daughter.
Which, for the record, has nothing to do with them being trans.
Right. It has nothing to do.
Well, that's because some states are trying
affect her social integration.
But some states are trying to pass laws that are tying like autism and depression to being trans, and there's no connection to that medically. Now, Republican wise, there's connections to everything when it comes to being trans, but medically, just because your daughter is autistic doesn't mean anything when it relates to trans.
No, he didn't make that connection in that statement. He was just saying that because he's saying that because of he's wondering about her ability to, his primary concern is is her transitioning going to make it harder for her to socialize, and that is it going to impact her already difficult time socializing that's what I got from that. And how do I help her, and what do I do? So, well, there's a couple things. And the first one out of the gates, which is what Lilith said in a less nice way, which is get that stuff out of your head. Of like, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. He was my son. Now she's my daughter. I don't know. It's all weird for me. Yes, here's the thing. And we've talked about this, I think even recently, like last week or a couple weeks ago, maybe, but like, even about like, yes, like it is when you transition, when you come out as trans, the kicker there is like, yes, it is you doing it. It's not about them. But you've known that you were trans for a while, and the other people around you didn't necessarily know that. And so when you drop that on them, it is hard for them. Like it does impact them because it is a thing. It's like, oh shit, I have to think about this in a new way. Even if they're willing, like this guy, it is still hard. 20 years of memory, like we've talked about this too. It's like people will slip up with gendering because of habits and because of memories. Even my dad, who's like super wonderful and very accepting, still very infrequently, but will slip up once in a while. And it's like, it's okay. And it's okay. And like, it took me a long time to even think of myself as the correct gender because of a lifetime of presenting male. But this man's trying, and he's asking, well, what are some of the things that I can do? She's 6 feet tall and skinny and has a deep voice, and that bothers her. Well, out of the gates, if you have a little money, one of the best things you could do is pay for voice training. Get her some voice training. If that's a source of dysphoria for her and you're worried about that, 6'5" is tall. But I'll tell you, if passing is a concern, one of the things that is kind of paramount and tantamount to successfully passing, if that's a thing you want to do, not required, by the way. But if that's a thing, is your voice. One of the things that will be a dead giveaway of one's transness, which isn't a bad thing. But if you're looking to blend in, then that is one. And that's definitely a thing that you as her father could do if you really wanted to help. And I think it would be a good gesture. I mean, I would definitely ask her if that's something she wants to do, but like, that's a thing. But honestly, the best thing you can do is just be supportive, gender her correctly, treat her as a daughter, and try to stop those mistakes. Don't keep bringing it up. Don't keep mentioning, it's so hard for me. Oh, you used to be my son, now you're my daughter. Stop saying that. Just treat her like she is your daughter, because she is.
Yeah. I would also say, when it comes to like socializing and fitting in, that a lot of things that might be holding someone back from fitting, because people don't believe this about me. I think I told you I had a show recently, and one of the people came up, which was like, I wish I was just so comfortable on stage. Like, you're just so natural talking in front of people. It's like, that is not natural at all. But part of that is, you're internally carrying all this stuff where you're trying not to let people know, or you're trying to fit in as whatever sex you were assigned at birth. And that is, I think I've talked about this before. So much of my brain capacity was being tied up in how to act and what to do. And I'm showing interest in things to help me blend in. And I'm not just being myself. And so obviously this isn't a guarantee, but as you start transitioning, you start becoming more comfortable in yourself. And when you're more comfortable in yourself, it's easier to socialize, because you're only thinking about, first of all, you're not thinking about it all. You're just being, which is all anyone wants to do, is just be who they are. Second of all, it might be a place where they start fitting in with a friend group that's more accepting and more in tune with who they want to be. You saying, oh, well, they're having trouble struggling to meet friends and stuff. Well, who are they trying to make friends with? Is that who they really are? Are they trying to force themselves in a situation where they think they can hide easier? And then the other thing is, because I heard this a lot too, is like people like, well, I had no idea. Like, you've never shown anything like this. Like my sister.
That's what being in the closet's all about.
My sister thought this was some sort of mental trauma from getting divorced. And I was like, first of all, getting divorced was the greatest thing ever. Second of all, this is something I've known since I was a little kid. So there's a reason you don't know, is trans people, before they're ready to come out, don't really go out advertising that they're trans. That's why they're in the closet.
We go out of our way to hide it.
We go out of our way to hide it. We're at WWF.
We get really fucking good at it.
Yeah, we're at WWF events buying Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirts, and because we're just trying to blend in with we're trying to dude it up with the dudes.
Trying to dude it up with the dudes. Just trying to do that dudeness.
So if you're not a dude and you're trying to dude it up with the dudes, and you're, like I said, you're in your Austin 316 t-shirt, you don't know why, you don't know what that means at all. You're like, I guess Stone Cold just kicked my ass. I don't get it, but I'm duding it up. Like, of course you're going to have trouble fitting in and blending in, because you're a square peg forcing yourself into a round hole. And so, be accepting, allow them to discover who they are. Just like when we talk to people and they feel like, I have to be X, I have to be Y. It's like, be yourself. Allow your child to be themselves. And if you are talking to them and you accidentally misgender them, just apologize. If you're typing a letter and you misgender them, you can just go back and delete it and change it to the correct one instead of telling everyone about what's going on. So I would say those things. When it comes to I'm 6'3", and I weigh a shit ton too. So I don't necessarily have the most femme body ever. But it's really, I think before you start, your whole thing is like, I can only pass by how I look. I'll only be happy how I look. And it really is like, the misunderstood thing is how much the correct hormone changes things. And
fixes things.
Even before, like, you are the trans person, you are fixated on those physical attributes. But as soon as you start getting the hormones that match your brain, you get that chemical balance. That changes everything. I don't care. I know I don't have the greatest the most feminine voice in the world. I don't give a shit because I'm centered and I am exactly who I am. So
exactly,
comfort them. That could be tough. They're 6'4", they're real thin. They're 6'4". 6'4" and real thin is a supermodel. So
yeah, that really is.
I wish I was real thin.
She'll fit real well in Holland. Yeah, she'll do real well in Scandinavia.
Yeah. So
all those fit things, blend right in.
She is on the verge of the biggest thing she's going to do in her life. And as humans, that's when our brain turns up the fear the loudest. And they just have to understand that they're going in the direction they want. If they feel they made a mistake, they can change that. But all they can do is keep pushing forward. And no matter what they do, if they don't transition, then the fear is going to stay there. If they do transition, there's going to be that fear about everything. We're fearful creatures for some reason, and pushing past that fear and realizing,
scary place.
realizing who you are and going for that is the most important thing. So I apologize for lighting into you at the start there, but when I first read that, it was really off-putting. Just know that, especially if you're at a party and you misgender your child, don't make a big deal in front of everyone about just her. That's all you have to do. And I think that makes me uncomfortable when someone misgenders me and they're just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean. It's like, please, you just correct yourself and move on.
You want to draw as little attention to it as possible. Is kind of the thing. Understanding that misgendering someone it not only is it bad for the way it not only does it make them feel bad, it also actually puts them in danger. There's a lot of anti-trans hostility out there, and when you misgender somebody, that draws attention to the situation, and it's called clocking, and it's not good. It's not a good thing. This is especially true. But I mean, it's just true in general. But it's just even for the psyche, it's a respect thing more than anything else. It's like by misgendering someone and drawing attention to it, you're bringing eyes onto a thing that they really wish the eyes were not on.
That reminds me of something that happened. I was at the farmer's market yesterday, and I didn't hear them. But the person I was with heard someone yell something to me, and it wasn't angry. It was like a it was like a LGBTQ. They had rainbow colored shit, and they yelled something specifically to me. I didn't hear them because I was looking at stuff to buy, and I was told afterwards, and I was like, I don't know if I should. I don't want to go back there and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't ignoring you, I just didn't hear you. But I'm also like, don't yell at me.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I mean, we're kind of like Red Virginia here. Don't be outing me in front of there's a one dude who does wood bowls and stuff.
People.
He had wood bowls and stuff, and then last year he had Let's Go Brandon plaques and stuff. And I was hoping he'd have him again this year so I can go up and be like, oh my God, do you know Brandon Jacobs? He plays on the Chesterfield football team. Oh my God, is that for Brandon Jacobs? And then they're like, no. I'm like, well, who's Brandon? How do you know Brandon? And then that's when you see that they're cowards, because they're like, oh, it's Joe Biden. It's like, oh, you're a Joe Biden fan? I love Joe Biden. I voted for him too. They're like, oh, no, that's not what it means. It's like, oh, well. And then he just takes it down and hides it under his thing. He's like, you know what? There's no Brandon. I don't want him to go anywhere. There's no Brandon. There is no Brandon.
I'm quite happy with gas prices right now. Thank you very much.
Joe Biden did that. Those gas prices are down. Joe Biden
lowered your gas prices. He did that.
I bought a 30-pack of eggs.
Stickers all went away. It's weird.
Because a lot of places said that they had cameras, and if you peeled those stickers off, they were going to prosecute you. And now they're all just gone. I'm like, well, who came and took them? I hope you prosecuted them. I think next time I go to the gas station, I'm going to go in and be like, hey, I noticed I did the stickers are gone, and you had threats that did you catch the people who removed them? No, I removed them. Also paid $2.50 for a 30-pack of eggs. So I guess eggs are back to normal prices too. So good job, Brandon, I guess.
$2.50 for 30 seems like a good deal for eggs.
Hey, man, I made myself some cinnamon rolls this morning.
Hot
cinnamon rolls.
The show's over when we start talking about food.
Yeah. This is the longest I go all week without talking about food. Y'all, hey, Dad, good luck. Love your kid. Give them what they need.
Heart's in the right place, Dad.
Yeah. Just reassure them. Let them know they can be anything they want. They're going to be amazing. And let them know that if creeps dip into their DMs, they can just block them and they don't have to engage with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Man.
Be there for her. Love her. Love her and respect her. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Love it.
Help when you can and get her back.
Amen. What an amazing love-filled show that was. Timothée Chalamet would be most proud.
Willy Wonka.
So proud. Y'all, it's been amazing being here with you. I'm so glad you took time out of your day to listen to our podcast, and I hope we helped all the like we like to say, all the I say babies. That's babies, but babies. But also everyone on the binary scale, from femme to masculine to, I'm just
super straight.
I'm just figuring it out. This is super straights. Hey.
I even want to help them super straights because they need a lot of help.
They need so much help.
They need a lot of help.
Yeah. Y'all are amazing. We love you. Amanda, I love you. I've been Lilith. That's Amanda. Bye.
Oh yeah.
What? No.
Not a bye. Because I was going to be like, did we say like and subscribe?
We didn't. Oh my God.
We did.
I never do.
We need you to like and subscribe, but we need you to do that. We need you to boost them numbers. Give us them numbers. We need them numbers. And we're going to do a thing in San Luis Obispo. We're going to be on stage, and we don't know where or when yet. It's going to be in August. Just be aware if you're
I wouldn't promise it. It might just be an open mic night when we're doing stand-up.
It might just be an open mic, but it will be us. It might just be us hanging out in a bar, shooting our mouths off, making a scene. But we'll be in San Luis Obispo in August, so you should be there too. If you're in the area, come see us. We'll let you know as the details unfold.
I might actually be doing an improv show that week as part of my friend's wedding parties. So
there you go.
Yeah, come see me. Of course you come. I mean, you're going to be there with me. When I going to leave you?
I'm going to be there too. I'm going to be there too.
Yeah, I love it. Y'all are beautiful. Stay strong. Stay safe. We love you. Goodbye.